And the Oscar goes to Free Solo.
Four sports will be making their Olympic debuts at the Tokyo Games: karate, skateboarding, surfing, and sport climbing.
One of the best on the planet.
I don't know if another bridge on that.
I thought when I was getting into climbing, it was just a, lack of a good word here, like off-brand sport type deal. You didn't see a ton of you. That was for your like real dairy type risky people that were gonna be able to do that. Now when I was getting into climbing, this was like right as Free Solo was coming out. I believe it came out in 2018, and it seems like it's a normal sport now. It was in the Olympics recently. I would never thought I would ever expect that.
Yeah, Trent, you are not killing it, my guy.
This is speculation.
Nice.
Take a picture. It moves, but you get a lot of friction. I've never. But
Yeah. Sorry.
It's not a really competitive sport when you're outdoors. They just want you to be climbing your best game out there, and I see it as like, oh, if I climb as good as them, that's just another climbing buddy I can go out with type deal. Jake, I don't know how long he's been climbing, but he got me into it. It's kind of a nut job in terms of how much he does it. So.
Short one? Oh, no, there we go. 10, 11.
My whole life growing up, we hiked and stuff in the gorge and like all around Laurel County, like with my dad and brother and stuff. But when I came to college, I saw the rock wall in the rec center for the first time. And so after one of the exams that I tanked, I was like, that seems like it'd be a good way to like get rid of all that stress. So me and my buddy hopped on a wall. One of the rock wall employees belayed us for like 3 hours that night so the first time we climbed, we spent like 3 or 3.5 hours climbing. And then one thing leads to another, like you go outdoors with one friend that you make at the rock wall, and before you know it, like you're getting a job like I did to pay for gear because, you know, you just love it so much.
All right, let's see how you do this part. I don't see anything for you, honestly.
Oh, Patrick, this thing's balls hard.
Huh?
This thing's balls hard.
It super helps being so close to the Red River Gorge because there's all kinds of people in the Red River Gorge. Like sometimes you'll meet people from like France, especially, some from Spain, Italy. A ton of people will just come here for like a month on their vacation and climb because it's some of the best for what it is, like the type of climbing it is. In my opinion, the Red River Gorge is like the best in the U.S. That's not to say it's the best climbing in the U.S., but for the type of like overhang, juggy, pumpy sandstone, like it is the best in the U.S. Even not in the Red River Gorge, like at the rock wall in the Johnson Center, I made like, I don't know how many friends, whether it was the employees I worked with or like easily 20 or 30 people that would just come in and out of the wall every day, and I'd belay them, and yeah, it's super fun. That's like, other than like the crew, the campus ministry I'm involved with, like climbing is easily the place I've made the most friends. And then Elizabeth, we met at crew, and then as Trent and I started climbing, we would try to like get other people to come with us. Like every good cult, you try to get more people to join. And before too long, there was like a third of that group of friends, guys and girls, that climbed. And Elizabeth was like the first girl.
She's one of the more skilled of the girls that I've seen climb, especially for her height a little bit, because she's one of those kind of smaller climbers where I learned from her a lot just because of the way that she gets around different obstacles, which I find so much respect in a ton, because I'm like, I cannot do certain things that she can do.
Nice, Elizabeth.
I don't know. It's more of a pastime that I really enjoy. I like doing it with friends. And then I also had like a family member who was really into climbing, so it makes me feel more connected to them, I think.
Does that older sibling climb ever? Or?
Well, yeah, they like climbed a whole lot, a lot of like hard, like they were really good at climbing. And yeah, so but they were rappelling, and that's not exactly climbing, but like that's how they like passed away through that accident. So that's why my parents do not like that I climb. Yeah, I never climbed until I came to college after that, because I was obviously kind of scared, but I really like it, and I don't know, it's a way to connect, I think, in that way. Connective, yeah. I feel like the people who go out every weekend, they're just like, I don't know, they're just like a whole different breed of people, I think, because they're just like, aren't really afraid, like it's their whole life.
Keep going, next hold flipping.
You crushed it though, that's good.
When I come to the Red, it's very therapeutic. Just being here, knowing I don't have any responsibility. I can do what I want with my time. There's not a rush to get a project done or get homework turned in or go to class. Not that I do that. But I like being down here. It's a relaxation from the real world, and I find that therapeutic. I think there's a lot to be said about learning how to compete against yourself and want to do better for yourself. Somebody's always going to be better than you. Nobody is really ever going to be the best in the world except the best in the world, and there's one spot for that. And I think I think I was a lot happier once I started focusing more on myself and setting goals for myself. And once I achieved that goal, what's the next goal?
How do you feel? Pretty. My mom says I cuss too much. Pretty hyped. Yeah, let's go.
And there is something to say about like the flow state too when you are climbing.
Definitely. There's definitely a sweet spot where it's like just hard enough for you, where you're pretty much right at your limit, and then there's just no room to be thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
Like there's no margin for being distracted by your own thoughts. So it's just like it really takes 100%. And that's kind of nice because you're not thinking about that test I have next week, or that project that I have at work, or that bill that I have to pay, or whatever it is. It could be a million things, but none of that's there when you're climbing really hard.
That bolt or not, but there is one. It's kind of dumb. It's like really dumb, actually.
Am I gonna have enough quick draws?
You could back from the first one.
Are they all bolted like that? Yeah, I almost wore shorts.
Glad you didn't.
Rock.
Are they like a little higher on there?
Dude, they're all hollow.
Okay, that sounded
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Take that.
Yeah. He said I'm not.
Dude, fuck this. I'm out. I'm out of here. You can
That
dirt me.
sounded-
Alright, I'm gonna do it. Dude, you don't want to.
It's pretty like fail-safe too, the gree and quick draws.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, it's things can go wrong, but you really have to do something wrong to like actually get seriously hurt. So like if I chuck a rock at Liz and hit her in the head with it or something.
But climbing is dangerous. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
if you break holds off,
Be trained professionals.
then you can just get unlucky. But
The gree-gree's not hands-free. The way I kind of see different people climbing is more about how psyched they are at whatever they're doing. Because, like, personally, I don't care how hard you climb, but if you're psyched on something, I'll be psyched on it with you.
I love telling people that I climb. I mean, heck, it's almost like I'm preaching to them half the time because I'm like, oh yeah, first thing I want to tell you is that I'm like a rock climber half the time just because I think it's just kind of that cool factor of, hey, I can do something that you don't see a ton of people doing.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I'd recommend it to anybody. I think anybody can rock climb, like, and do it well, truly.
When are you going to try to come back and climb?
Tomorrow.
Maybe 2 days from now,
Or
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Alright. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Love my mom and dad.
If there's a cuties representative
Day
out
ones.
there,
Yeah, cuties.
let's get in touch.
I eat like a bag a day.
We could be sponsored cuties athletes.
Honestly, that'd be cool.
It'd be pretty
We'd
rad.
I think we'd be the first.
Yeah.
I'd be a good athlete.